Hi there, Loy Machedo Sweeney from LoyMachedo.com, who's Loy Machedo and Think Personal Branding. The date is 15th April 2018. Time right now is 8:53 in the morning. Okay, got this question from Mr. Kanan Das. Okay, I'll keep his name as Kanan Das because I don't think he would want his real name to be said. So Kanan Das asks me, so most of us boys think about our future. Okay, we think about our future, building and other stuff. Yes, you think about not only future, you also think about girls, you think about sex, you think about money, you think about fun, a lot of things you think about. Okay, I know that. So what do teenage girls think about? Ooh, so you want to know what teenage girls think about. Okay. Romance, sex, new life, or what? How can girls change their mentality? Yeah, why would you want them to change their mentality? Okay, fine. Let me answer this question. This is my assumption. Okay, I'm just giving my assumption. I'm not an expert on girls. Am I? Oh, am I not? But I'll give you an opinion. Okay. So what do teenage girls think about? See, there is no one size fits all. However, there are certain standards. There are certain fundamental basics. Like, for example, girls get periods, boys don't get periods. Girls have a kind of slightly unfair advantage of being born as girls. Why? Because society puts a lot of rules and regulations on girls and lesser on boys. Like, for example, during sex, a mother and father is never worried that their boy would get pregnant, but they are always worried that the girl would get pregnant. So it's a very unfair world. So given these factors on which a girl and boy is brought up, okay, from the socio-economic and religious perspective, that boys never get pregnant, girls get their periods, boys never get experiences. Girls are given much more pressure and responsibility about being a girl, and boys not. So what I personally feel is a girl gets mature far more faster. Mentally, emotionally, she gets much more mature because, you're talking of a girl losing blood, okay, having her periods every month. It's a very painful experience. It's a very challenging experience, and they need to maintain that. And it's like shocking, oh my goodness, I'm getting blood, coming. And it's a big thing for them. It's a really big thing. And then they have also, their parents start telling them that, oh, she's getting periods. Now she is blooming to be a woman who can actually get pregnant. So then they start putting rules and regulations. You cannot meet this boy, and if you're with this boy, you cannot do this, cannot do that, because the reality of pregnancy is very real. But for a boy, that's not the case. So what do girls think about is, first and foremost, is they get far more mature. They are exposed to the reality much more faster. So girls predominantly, most of the girls, they do think about their future. Okay, they do think about their career. They do think about marriage. They do think about relationships, normal stuff like the boys. However, they have this added pressure of being a girl. Now, apart from that, girls also love to be appreciated. Girls have more of the emotional side. So where boys have the sex, and I want to have sex, it's not that girls don't want to have sex. Girls also love having sex. Girls also have feelings. That's why you would see girls hugging girls, girls sitting on girls' laps, girls, hugging each other and sitting like this. Because it's their sexuality that is developing. You'd never find boys hugging boys and boys putting, kissing each other on their cheeks. No, this is the way girls express their sexuality. That is why for a girl to get into a female relationship with a girl is much more common than a boy getting into a sexual relationship with another boy. Okay? So that's why girls, and you need to understand, girls are far more, as they grow up, they're far more sexually more sensitive. That's why their nipples, when their breasts grow, their nipples become sensitive. Okay, boys and girls have the same genital growth or whatever, stimulation. But for girls, when they just hug each other, they feel much more. But for a boy, the pleasure spot is only his penis. Okay? So girls express their sexuality by hugging, by being around with girls, and But for boys, it's primarily like everything is sex, 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 and with your hormones, you go crazy. Every girl you see, sex. Girls don't look at it that way. Girls look at it more as emotions and feelings and friendships. And another thing about girls is girls undergo a lot more, I think, emotional challenges. That's why they cry more, they laugh more, they are very sensitive in nature. Boys, on the other hand, they're brought up with this thing like, you're a man. If a boy falls down, small boy, a child falls down, and if it's a boy, they say, you're a man, you don't feel pain. So boys will, oh, yes. And testosterone kind of makes you more aggressive. Girls, on the other hand, do not have testosterone. They have estrogen, okay? It's a female hormone. So they tend to be more crying, more drama, more female, like, ha, 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 like the girl. And that's why, girls always want to look attractive. Girls always want to be appreciated. So that is why just as, let's say, for example, girl always has a hairband here and she always moves her hair like this, because she wants to be noticed. So girl has long hair, she wants to look like pretty beautiful, and and then you have the media of how a girl is supposed to look. So girls have all this kind of pressure where they're trying to be appreciated, okay? So boys, on the other hand, well, it's just macho, big muscles, trying to look like the film actors, like guts and gangs and all that stuff. However, today, what I feel today is because of the social media, girls, they're trying to be like boys. They're trying to be more macho, more like girls have equal rights, which I kind of respect. But sometimes it goes to a bit of like feminazi, as I call it. They just forget that they are girls and they try to be like boys. So it's more like they will act like boys. They'll try to fight with you and hit you. But if you fucking slap them or hit them, oh, you hit the girl. So it's kind of retarded that way. So they're trying to close these boundaries. And the funny thing is, no matter how hard you try, a girl and boy can never be fucking equal. If a boy and girl were to get into a fight, the guy would smash the girl. If a girl and guy went to the gym, the guy would show much more results much more faster. During marriage, it's a girl who has to suffer, who has to endure. I know because I have a wife. Today she has a baby inside her womb. It's like an alien being born. You're carrying another creature in your stomach. I mean, it's not easy. It's so difficult. It is so painful. Okay? I can see biological changes. My wife's breasts are growing bigger and more sensitive. And her stomach is really going bigger. She's getting hungrier more. She's feeling hornier and more. I mean, so many changes are taking. She's feeling sensitive. She's feeling emotionally drained. She's very tired. Me as a man, I don't feel all that. So it's really difficult being a woman. Really, really difficult. And if a woman is working and she gets pregnant, I mean, she would not be able to work as much as effectively as a man who doesn't have to endure having a baby. And after the baby is born, the woman has to take care of the baby, feed the baby. She can't take the baby to work. So these are the challenges. So teenage girls, I think all girls have all these challenges to think about. It's very, very tough. And given the fact that I'm going to have a daughter, I know that these are the challenges. In fact, I'll tell you a thing. I'm going to teach my daughter from a very young age, complete from self-defense, from pedophiles, from men who can sexually rape my girl or molest my girl, to even dealing with bullies. Let's say if a guy were to rape her or a guy were to molest her, I'm not going to say, oh, poor baby. No. Go fucking chop his balls, man. Go fucking take a knife and chop his fucking balls. That's what I'd tell her. I would teach her self-defense from Muay Thai to anything. I'd make her fucking dangerous. I would make her this pretty face, model girl who'll show this and all that shit, which goes on. Because, I'm going to have a daughter. I want to make sure that she's tough and she's prepared to face today's world. So, bottom line, what I want you to understand is, end of the day, it all comes down to upbringing, based on religion, based on country. Like, for example, a girl who is born and raised in India, the typical, Indian kind of mentality is there. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but then again, I would say it's like these girls are made aware that they're girls, but they're trying to be tough. At the same time, they're trying to make rah 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 big noise. But the minute they get hammered, then it's like violation. At the same time, they face so many atrocities from men who behave like fucking animals, especially with these rape incidents that are taking place. India men is like yuck. But on the other hand, if you check the West, these girls are a little bit more advanced, but sometimes they are far more advanced. Some of them, end up being pregnant. Teenage pregnancy is so fucking common overseas. I know of a girl who was 19 and she had 3 or 4 babies already from 4 different men. So it all comes down to your upbringing. It all comes down to your socioeconomic factors, your parents, your society, religion. I think that kind of matters. So girls and guys have 2 different, ball game kind of mentality. And now you're asking, how can girls change your mentality? I would say, like, why the fuck should they change their mentality? Why don't you fucking change your mentality? I mean, you're asking someone else to change their mentality. They don't need to change their mentality. I think each one deserves to have the mentality that they deserve. So let boys think how they are. Let girls think how they are. End of the day, I think it's all about respect. I think it's about being true to your role, being true to yourself. And whether you're gay, you're lesbian, you're a feminazi, you're a guy, whatever, respect. Okay? Don't go around hurting, harming anyone, troubling anyone. If you can get along, get along. Can't get along, mind your own business. So, Mr. The fake name that I gave, Kanan Das, I hope this answers your question. As for you, my dear friend, given that you being a boy, you're asking about girls, I would say focus on yourself. Yes, I know you're feeling horny. I know you want to have a girlfriend. I know you want to have fun. All that is good. But end of the day, please respect a girl. Treat her with respect. I know that you'll mostly have sex and fun and all that stuff. Don't play around with the girl's life. Remember, she'll have a father or mother who'll fucking kill you if you fuck around. She'll have a boyfriend or she'll have a brother. So keep that in mind. And most important is, remember, without money, without career, without being successful, no girl would want a loser. Okay, just as you want a good girl, attractive girl, not a fat, ugly, oversized, big hippo. A girl wants a guy who's successful, who has a personality, who has charm, who has manners, who has his values in place. So I hope this answers your question, Mr. Kanan Das. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, thumbs down if you didn't like the video, put your comments. And if anything else, this is Loy from LoyMachedo.com, signing off for now. Take care. Bye.